Hello and welcome to Glasstire's Top Five, where we count down the top five art happenings, art exhibitions, art in Texas. This week we are tackling artist talks. There seem to be a lot of artist conversations happening in Texas, and what better time? It's something that we can do from home. And my name is Christopher Blay.
And I'm Brandon Zech. And a number of these artist talks are upcoming. A few of them have already passed, and they're going to be on view perpetually on these organizations' YouTube pages. A lot of times in August, things slow down a little bit, but this time around, there's a ton of programming, and it's all online.
Okay, number 5 on our list is an artist conversation at Big Medium. It's an online coffee chat, part of a series. And Funmi Ogonru is the artist that's giving the talk, which is happening as we speak right now. So after you watch this video, please check it out. Ogonru is a Nigerian-American Lone Star Emmy-nominated film producer and editor from Austin.
These coffee chats, this one is happening at 11 a.m. today, but they are all hosted on Big Medium's YouTube page. They've been doing them for quite a while now, so there's a real back catalog if you want to watch any of these artist chats. And Christopher, you and I were just talking, there's a lot of great ones coming up also. You know, if you can't attend this one, or maybe you're watching this after 11 a.m. today, that's completely fine. Check out Big Medium's calendar, check out our events calendar, because there's a lot more of these. Number 4 is also happening today. It's you have a little bit more time. It's happening at 5 p.m. tonight, but it's being hosted by the Art Museum of Southeast Texas in Beaumont. And it's a conversation, it's kind of an extension of an exhibition which Christina and I actually visited in person and we shot a top 5 video at. But it's a conversation with the artist Kana Harada and Patrick Kelly from the Old Jail Art Center in Albany, Texas. They're in dialogue with Mariah Rockefeller, who is the curator of the Art Museum of Southeast Texas and helped put these shows together. Kana Harada's work, it could be a hard type of work to have a dialogue about online where you can't be standing in the middle of it, but I have no doubt that her and Mariah and Patrick will do a great job kind of talking about the ideas behind everything. And number 3 this week, well, I say this week, it's actually next week. It's on Wednesday, August 19th. It's hosted by Diverse Works, and it's a conversation with Jefferson Pinder around his piece, Fire and Movement, which was a piece that was performed with Diverse Works about a year ago. So it's in honor of the 1917 Camp Logan uprising. It was this trek through Houston that kind of mirrored and mimicked the uprising a little bit. This conversation that's going to be happening, you know, it's talking about Houston in 1917 and touching on issues that were prevalent back then that are very much still prevalent today. So the conversation is with, of course, Jefferson Pinder, who's based in Chicago, but it's also with Houston artists Vinod Hobson, Makeva McNeil, Mitch S., and Anthony Suber. So it's a nice way to kind of revisit this project, which was, you know, out in the streets and really active a year ago. And I think it's a very appropriate time to have this conversation.
Number 2 on the list is Black Cultural Organizations in Houston, Soul of a Nation virtual panel discussion. This discussion will be on Zoom, and it features Vicky Meek, Aline Morris, Harrison Guy, and John Guess. And it's on this Saturday at 3 p.m. They're essentially talking about a panel discussion about the Soul of a Nation art exhibition that we reviewed, and it's currently up at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston right now.
And I really like the way throughout this exhibition that the MFA has been incorporating the Houston connection into the show. I think they've really made an effort to do that through this exhibition, and I think it's come out pretty strongly in the community, and at least in their programming, and also in the Houston in-person version of the show. And number 1 this week, so number 1, we don't normally do this. Number 1 actually already happened. It happened yesterday, August 12th, but we talked to PhotoFest, and they are putting a version on their website along with, an archive of all of the other online programming that they've been doing. But it is a conversation with David Levi Strauss and Roberto Tejada. So Roberto Tejada, some of you out there may already know, he is a creative writing professor at the University of Houston. He's a poet, he's an art historian. He has all of these facets. And David Levi Strauss is, I believe, currently the department chair, or at least he works for SVA's art criticism department up in New York City. This is centered a bit around Levi Strauss's new book, which is called Co-Illusion: Dispatches from the End of Communication. So the book is kind of about the relationships between image and text and how some of those things can be broken down, and also how the media influences public opinion. It's very socio-political. It I think is also really interesting that he's releasing this book right as we're getting into like the heart of another political campaign. So it's kind of making commentary about something that's already passed as it's happening again. I just expect this to be a really fantastic conversation, and I'm excited to see it myself. And that is it for this week. Although that isn't it, there's a whole lot more going on. There's a lot of online digital exhibitions that are still happening. Make sure and check out our event listings. If you haven't, there's a special online event listing section, so you can see everything that's happening online that you can see from wherever you are. If you've made it to the end of the video, also, if you don't mind, do us a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and see some art.
See some art.